Last time out, we had a fuel-saving shocker at Iowa, but tonight we're just one state north here in Minnesota. Welcome to the Minneapolis Motorsports Park. Here, we're set for the Dairy Queen 400 in a race that was a spectacular and really entertaining one last year. That's why we came back. It's the 5th race on the schedule once again, and it's an important race once again, and we're excited for 60 laps of action around this quad oval where there will be a lot of passing, and you'll see similar to a super speedway style type race, but it's just a brand of racing that you won't see anywhere else in NR 2003 or on the DRL Summer Series circuit. So, how is everyone doing? I'm Logan, and I'm joined once again with Andrew for the calling of tonight's Dairy Queen 400. And coming into this one, we've hit the halfway mark of the 2024 DRL Summer Series season, and we have an interesting championship battle, as we were talking about last week. It's going to be the number 5 Reggie Fogelman coming into this one with 114 points to his name. He is the points leader. He has not finished outside the top 10 yet this year. His worst finish was 10th at Texas, but he's getting off to a similar start as to how Bradley Ream did last year when he won his championship. Speaking of Ream, he's 18th in the points right now with one top 10 to his name at Coca-Cola. He's 63 points behind. He's really out of the championship running at this point with how short of a championship this is. But the guys that are still in it, Leonard Kochmer, winner at Coca-Cola and Texas. He's 6 points behind Reggie Fogelman at the moment. Titan Nicholas, your Darlington winner, is 10 points behind, and he has finished no worse than 11th so far this season. And then Drew Webb in the 26 has not won a race yet this year. Neither is Fogelman, but Drew Webb sits 19 points behind with the worst finish of the season being 13th at Darlington. And then 5th place in the points, Mikey Fox, driving the car that won this race last year with Derek Alexander in the driver's seat. Mikey Fox sits 28 points behind. He has not finished worse than 12th this season, and he is an interesting, quiet name in this championship fight so far, a DRL Summer Series newcomer as well. So, Mikey Fox still got his hat in the ring. We'll have to see what he can do coming from pole tonight. And then alongside him, Matthew Hubert is there as well in the 4, who won after saving fuel last week at Iowa, and what was a very unexpected fuel mileage race. He was the only one that could make it all the way to the end of the race on one tank of gas, and so he sits 32 points behind, 6th in the points. Now, without further ado, I believe we should start to get these guys rolling off the pit lane and get ready for 60 laps of action here at Minnesota. All right, the field is rolling off the pit lane, and Mikey Fox, as we said, leading the field from the pole position on outside pole. Matthew Hubert, last time out, he won at Iowa. Then, starting from the 3rd spot, Derek McLean in the 25. He's alongside his teammate Will Parrish in the number 2. Then, we've got Angel Gutierrez in the 31 rolling off in the 5th spot next to Trinity Lee in the 55. Leonard Kochmer, 2-time winner this season, 2nd in points, rolls off from the 7th spot. 2 Penrite teammates on the outside lane here. The first one is Drew Webb in the 26. Then we've got Brian Webb and Matt Tuck to round out the top 10. But the field comes through turns 3 and 4 here. Mikey Fox and Matthew Hubert have the field all ready to go behind them. 24 drivers up through the gears, and we're racing in the Dairy Queen 400 at Minnesota. And as you can see, a lot of slicing and dicing going on throughout the pack. It's 4 wide back here already. Anthony Rodriguez on the apron there and in the grass in the middle of the corner. Heading into turn number 1, they're still 4 wide, but these guys have a wide enough track here where they don't wreck very much, so hopefully we should go caution-free here tonight again. Derek McLean led lap number 1. He's in the lead off of turn number 4 on this time, but he's going to be a dead heat at the line with Angel Gutierrez, and the 31 leads that one by 100th of a second, coming off of turn number 2 on lap 3.
Gutierrez, who dominated just one state down in Iowa after just running out of fuel towards the end, giving that win up to Matthew Hubert. Now back out front at a similar distance track, but very different in racing. Iowa mostly flat, here at Minnesota. Very banked, very fast 1 mile quad oval.
Oh, but there's the downside to running the inside too far. Brian Webb here in the 20. You saw him check up big time heading into the corner. He on the outside. Dylan Matthews, the Minnesota native, who started on the pole last year here. She didn't have a good run in the race, but Dylan Matthews looking to do well here in the Minnesota at her home track in the Dairy Queen 400. As now it's Brian Webb getting on the inside. He's going for the lead on Gutierrez on lap number 5. The inside lane, while it can have its cons, usually is the lane you want to be in, especially as the race continues to go on and these guys start to slide around even more. Brian Webb to the point. Reggie Fogelman coming up here in second now, the points leader. He's got to watch out behind him for Nathan Stapleton coming to his inside.
Stapleton looking for the second position. Gets the inside. Checks up a little bit on corner 3, allowing Fitzwater to escape just a little bit. Fogelman, sorry. It was Fitzwater last year in that car. I'm still getting them mixed up. Very short season.
Oh, Fogelman's almost in the wall off of turn number 4 there. He's got the 19 of Matt Tuck to his inside, and the 99 of Nathan Norman. Oh, and he spins Tuck into turn number 1. A big crash. Matt Tuck is into the outside wall. More carnage behind them. Will Parrish as Mikey Fox is involved. He takes a big wallop there. And cars piling in. Colin Bear in the 18 taking some big damage as well. And this turned from a small accident into a whopper of one. And that brings out the yellow flag for the first time here in Minnesota. Nathan Stapleton led them back to the line ahead of Brian Webb, Reggie Fogelman, Ryan Durrani, and Rogel Dorn in the 14. As you see, Colin Bear is going to be done for the night in the 18 car. Will Parrish is big-time damage, as well as Mikey Fox, the pole sitter. Then I believe that is Matt Tuck there in the Penrite number 19, looking to retire his car from the race as well. And there's going to be quite a few cars out of contention for this one. I think that might be a third of the field at this point. But very, very interesting chain reaction accident. They should not be coming down the pit lane this time. We know that for sure, unlike last week at Iowa as it ended up. But this one will go pit stop free. So without anything else being said, let's go take a look at what brought out that caution. It's only lap number 7 here at Minnesota, but Matt Tuck just got ran over by the 99 and Nathan Ormond heading into turn number 1 here. Gets pushed onto the grass apron, and around goes the 19 as Colin Bear piled right into him head to head there. And then it was only a pile up from there as Angel Gutierrez piled in 31. Dylan Matthews got caught up. Titan Nicholas hit the back of the 6 car there, and the track proceeded to become blocked here at Minnesota. There's the 9 of Bernardo de Oliveira. 2 of Will Parrish going around. There's Leonard Kochmer, second in points, getting caught up in it, as well as Mikey Fox, who the pole sitter who came in so close. Matthew Hubert's going to just get around this in the 4, as well as Drew Webb here in the 26. They're both going to have to slow way down for it, though. And then Colin Bear coming in from behind. Thought he had a gap at the bottom, but Matt Tuck was trying to limp away, and Mikey Fox appeared right in front of him, and there was a big hit for the 18 of Colin Bear that's going to completely end his day as he sustained some massive damage from that one. So the first caution of the day here on lap number 7 at Minnesota. Hopefully the last caution of the day as well, but we'll get you another look at that
Matt
in real
Tuck
time.
Trying to hold that inside line, run into by Nathan Ormond up the track, and it just evolved into a super speedway-esque crash, blocking the entire track in front of the entire back of the field. A crash so big that even the pace car got involved at the very end here. But just a massive accident here. Lap number 7 of 60 early on in the running here in the Dairy Queen 400.
All right, welcome back here at the Minnesota Motorsports Park. Nathan Stapleton leading the field on lap number 11 of 60 as we are going to go green this time by. Had a couple cars pit for damage under that caution, but there are 4 officially out of the race. Matt Tuck in the 19, Mikey Fox in the 8, Will Parrish in the 2, and Colin Bear in the 18, as you saw. But many more were involved in that accident, like we showed you in the replay earlier. However, it's going to be Nathan Stapleton, Brian Webb, Reggie Fogelman, Ryan Durrani, and Rogel Dorn, the top 5 as we come to this restart. And it'll be about 48 laps to go here at Minnesota in the Dairy Queen 400. Still a lot of racing left to be done, but a much reduced field. that's in contention for the win. We'll have to see how this plays out, and if Stapleton can keep his car up front, or if someone can come from the back and make a run at the lead here for the first time today. Regardless, heading through the little quad oval here at Minnesota now. We're back green in the Dairy Queen 400 on lap number 12 of 60. Good jump for Stapleton there. Brian Webb's under a little bit of pressure from Reggie Fogelman already in the 5. They made a little bit of contact in the corner there as well, but single file off of turn number 2.
Fogelman looking antsy in that third position, trying to get to the inside of any opportunity.
There
But it's
goes
going to be
Webb.
Webb to the inside.
Brian Webb, who was close to winning at Texas, which I guess is shaped kind of similarly until he was taken out in that big accident at the end of the race. He's to the lead on here at the Dairy Queen 400. Reggie Fogelman having another strong run as he's finished in the top 10 every single race so far this season. He's going to the lead now, as he was at Iowa last week, right up in the top 5. Here's Zachary Fitzwater in the 34 now. Was the pole sitter last week at Iowa and had a good run going for him until a rough end to it. But Derek McLean coming back up here as well. He led net lap number 1. Anthony Rodriguez is still up here as they're all heading into the top 5, and is 3 wide still off the corner. These guys have got plenty of tire left on them and are making passes real smooth right now. Zachary Fitzwater going to take the lead in lap number 15 for the first time today, as Fogelman's looking to hold tough on the outside, but there goes Fitzwater to clear him.
Fogelman and Fitzwater now battling. Hopefully I won't get these two mixed up. Fitzwater takes the lead into 3, clears officially. He's going to lead the entire field. We have almost a 4 wide off on turn number 4. Fogelman just edges out ahead as we have Rodriguez, sorry about that, to the inside for the 4th position.
And good move by McLean to back out there before he made contact with Fogelman. He's got the run to the inside now, looking for 2nd place, but he's running way wide. Contact made on the outside as well. That's going to check them all up. Here comes Anthony Rodriguez for the lead on Zachary Fitzwater now. From the 5th spot to the 1st spot in just a couple corners, as he's going to try and keep it under the 34. McLean and Trinity Lee are coming up fast on him now as well. And Derek McLean's going to try and split the middle. He's going to sideswipe Fitzwater up into the corner, and McLean is racing really aggressively right now. It's paid off for him so far, but we've seen an accident already, so don't want to risk it too much. Drew Webb having a good race so far. Oh, it was on the apron there. I believe that was the 9 of David Dixon. No, that was the 99 of Ormond. My bad. Dixon was the other Coca-Cola car that is running off the back at the moment in the 16th spot. But still lots of close racing, some contact being made too. For the lead now, Derek McLean in the 25 to the inside of Rodriguez. As you can get a good launch on that outside in the corners, but the run off of it is so much better off the inside, and that's what McLean's using to his advantage right now. Drew Webb looking to his inside as well, but he'll stay off that for now.
Derek McLean just holding on to the race lead ahead of Drew Webb. Drew Webb trying to advance his spot in this championship. That's why I do not get it.
Yeah, look who's coming up through this field. Bradley Ream looking to get a bit of his mojo back here as he's had a rough start to the season so far. Up the inside, he's going to the 3rd spot. Contact behind them, 3 wide up the corner. Fogelman, Dorn, and Hubert at the back of the top 10. They keep it clean mostly so far, though, as it's good, hard racing here at Minnesota in the Dairy Queen 400. We're a third of the way through this race already. Drew Webb out front now. He's got a solid lead on McLean, who's coming under fire from Bradley Ream for 2nd.
Bradley Ream up into the 2nd position on Derek McLean. Reggie Fogelman starting to make his way back past Rodriguez, back into the 4th position, looking for 3rd on McLean. And I don't think I've seen a single car in this leading group running the same lane as any of these cars. This is just hard racing. And we see Bradley going back to the race.
Man, he's got a really strong car there. He's run up straight through this top 10, sliced through it like a hot knife through butter. But Reggie Fogelman is still right there as well in the number 5. He's closed back in on to the 2nd spot. Nathan Ormond enjoying a really good run here in the 3rd position as well. But it's Fogelman looking to the inside of Ream here. He's got some clean air. Ream slips wide, and they're going to be side by side up in turn number 4.
It's like leading this race is a curse. Everyone in the field behind you just pulls up and passes you. But it's providing some really great action as Fogelman will try and be the first one to hold the lead, but I doubt it.
No, it's going to be very hard to do that. And we saw that last year as well. There were a lot of lead changes. But Reggie Fogelman has been probably the best driver in the field so far, as he's been the points leader, 3 wide once again for the second spot now. Here's Brian Webb looking to make another big statement here at Minnesota. He's sliding up off the corners. He's going to keep it to the inside of Anthony Rodriguez, though, and I think he should have that second spot down. Rogel Dorn last in points by basically the equivalent of a mile at this point, running up in the top 5 today. But they're 4 wide off the corner. No contact made, though, between Dorn and Ream in the middle there. They're going to keep it clean. Rogel Dorn, and that was on the inside. Ryan Durrani in the 97 making a really aggressive move. But we've seen people mostly get away with that so far tonight. Brian Webb being one of those aggressive guys going for the lead to the inside of Reggie Fogelman.
Brian Webb trying to take the lead here. It looks like he's got the nose ahead heading into the quad oval. Ryan Durrani trying to chase these guys down. Incredible 4 wide pass. I mean, if you can ever pass 3 cars in one corner, I would definitely do it. On top, as now he's looking for second on Fogelman.
Yeah, and just an update. Just before we restarted, 4 more guys did retire. In case you didn't see yourself out there, Dylan Matthews, Angel Gutierrez, Titan Nicholas, and Leonard Kochmer. Those are 2 big names that have retired from this one. And we're going to be catching lap traffic here, as David Dixon has been running off the pace. He's about 2/3 of a lap behind right now, but he'll definitely be caught 1 or 2 times before the end of this one. Ryan Durrani, however, is not worried about that right now. He's gotten to the front, as we are a couple laps from approaching halfway here in the Dairy Queen 400. But to circle back on Nicholas and Kochmer, 6 and 10 points behind the points leader Reggie Fogelman. That is huge for the driver of the number 5, as he has managed to stay clean in this one, and that should be rewarded pretty handsomely. But it's another opportunity for these guys in the midfield to get way up in the points, like Rogel Dorn, who's trying to get out of last, out of the basement. He and Ryan Durrani both have not had very good seasons so far, and they're enjoying really good runs tonight. As we're approaching halfway, as we come around 2 more corners to halfway in the Dairy Queen 400, and it's going to be Rogel Dorn going for the lead for the first time this season.
Rogel Dorn carrying a lot of pace into turn number 3. He's going to clear by a mile out front here, leading us into lap number 31. As we have Zachary Fitzwater. Never mind. Inside the 3rd spot. Where is Fitzwater?
Yeah, Fitzwater's fallen a little bit back. He's back in the 14th spot, and there are 15 guys running in this pack. That's Dylan Cunningham in the 17. Running back there. Sorry, David Dixon in the 17. Oh, I've been mixing him up with Bernardo de Oliveira the whole time. That's the 9. I'm so sorry about that. Like, doing the same thing as Andrew. It's a short season. I'm mixing these guys up. I can't be doing that. It's the 5th race of the season. Rogel Dorn knows it's the 5th race of the season. He's led probably the longest we've seen out of almost any guy tonight so far. Skylar Taylor has taken a solid 2nd spot right now, as Matthew Huberts can't hold that inside lane. And we're seeing the tire wear come into effect a little more. This field's getting more spread out. It's almost 2 seconds to the back of the top 10 with Derek McLean here. But just as I say that, they're going to be 3 wide for second. Matthew Hubert to the inside, almost sliding. He was up in the 2nd or 3rd lane off the corner, but he's going to make it stick. Here he goes. 3 by 3. 2 by 2 by 2, and 3 rows. Matthew Hubert, Drew Webb, Reggie Fogelman on this inside, as Rogel Dorn's going to relinquish the lead here on lap number 35. Ryan Webb's falling back on the outside a little bit as well, as it's Matthew Hubert looking to go back-to-back and become the 2nd 2-time winner this season in just 5 races, which would be pretty remarkable. We've never seen that before in this DRL Summer Series. Drew Webb, however, is trying to prevent that in the 26. Reggie Fogelman back there in 3rd as well. He's not won a race despite being the points leader. We'll have to see if he can get one tonight. As Drew Webb goes to the inside, we're catching the 9 of Bernardo de Oliveira. He's off the pace. He's running, I believe, a second and a half slower than the leaders at the moment. And Drew Webb could be the one to contend with him first. I think you want to be in the lead when you catch up to the 9 car here of de Oliveira. It'll make him the easiest to navigate. And you can push him in a spot that'll ruin the rest of these guys' chances, at least for a while. So what Drew Webb does here, or whoever happens to be in the lead, whether that might be Trinity Lee or not, it could be very important for the outcome of this race as we're coming up on 20 to go here in the Dairy Queen 400. Drew Webb holding a solid lead, but Trinity Lee is coming fast and trying to get to him before he gets to the 9 of D'Oliveira.
Trinity Lee, first time she's really been up front all this race. But what I was more focused on, the fact that Drew Webb and Reggie Fogelman are both up front as Trinity Lee makes a look to the inside for the first position. Anyways, this is going to have massive championship implications with Kochmer and Titan Nicholas being out of this race. And those two looking to gap the field with this one, both running up front as Trinity Lee looks to the inside of D'Oliveira. That could have ensued.
Yeah, Bernardo's been a gentleman lap driver here as he's been running the outside lane as soon as he saw those leaders in his mirror. So trying not to play a big role, which is what we like to see. We applaud the driving of the 9 car here as the top 3 have gotten by him. Brian Webb there as well. Looks like Reggie Fogelman's going to get held up just a little bit here off of turn number 4. But there's not much you can do at that point if you're D'Oliveira other than be predictable. Fogelman's going to try and go around the outside now, and that's not quite... I don't know if that's going to work for him. No. So him and Rogel Dorn still stuck behind. And the top 4 have gotten away now. Ryan Durrani has bridged the gap back up here as Drew Webb has gone to the lead. In the 26, Trinity Lee falling back on the outside just a little bit, but not too far behind. And I think they will all bunch back together once they clear D'Oliveira here. It'll be close whether we catch him again, but not too concerned about that right now. Drew Webb's got a race like no one else is in front of him for the win here. But Brian Webb's coming up on that inside lane once again.
Brian Webb with a massive send into turn number 3. He's going to clear off of 4 very easily, leading us into lap number 43. Brian Webb out front, Drew Webb in second, as Trinity Lee continues to fall back.
And the 55 has been caught by Rogel Dorn now. Dorn's, however, not putting the move onto the inside quite yet. It's a late one there. He's going to make sure Lee slides up the track. And before he takes that 4th position, Anthony Rodriguez now back in 6th spot. Then it's Skylar Taylor, Derek McLean, Matthew Huber, and then Reggie Fogelman has fallen back to 10th spot. Oh, D'Oliveira has blown up. The number 9 has blown up as I believe that's Ormond going. Yeah, and Ormond is still going. So D'Oliveira is going to get out of the way here. Not to his, that's not to his own fault, but the car had taken too much, running on too much damage and is officially expired here in lap number 45 of 60 now. As Ryan Durrani going to the lead, 15 to go in the Dairy Queen 400, this time by the last quarter of the race. And the most crucial one, as these guys are it's still getting harder to pass, as easy as it still looks to pass. It's getting harder and harder to drive as these guys go on. This track takes a lot on the tires with how fast they sling it into the corners here, and Ryan Durrani might be getting out front at the right time here. We'll just have to see.
Ryan Durrani trying to hold on to whatever advantage he can here as Trinity Lee sends one down the inside. Already to the back bumper of Durrani for the lead. They're side by side across the line into one. It's going to be Trinity Lee back to the point.
Yeah, that 55 painted the lane markers there. And was just, that thing looked really gripped up on rails to the corner. Really good handling number 55 for Trinity Lee right now. We'll have to see if she can come out on top of this one. Brian Webb driving way up the track to make sure he can get by Durrani there. They're going to lose some time to the 55 now, who is looking to pull out a half-second lead or so. But we've seen a few guys do that, and they instantly get reeled back in. So Brian Webb's looking to make that happen as he looks to try and get the lead for the 4th or 5th time tonight. Rogel Dorn as well trying to get back up front. Drew Webb. These guys have all led laps all the way back to Anthony Rodriguez in the 56. As he's in the wall, Ryan Durrani is in the 97 big time. That's going to slow him way down. As for the lead, Brian Webb can't find the grip to get to the inside this time, but he's looking to get a run off the corner.
Brian Webb right to the back bumper of Trinity Lee, looking to make the move into 3. Not quite there yet.
He's knocking on the door, though.
The grip is falling off through the quad oval.
Brian Webb, Trinity Lee right bumper to bumper at the line. 0.04 of a second separated them with 11 to go. Drew Webb also working his way back up to 3rd now around Rogel Dorn. He's going to get around Trinity Lee as well as she had to check up off the corner. And it's Brian Webb to the lead. Coming to 10 to go here at Minneapolis. Oh, Dorn in the wall as well. These guys are really starting to drive it too hard. Durrani and Dorn have both hit the wall really hard now, and it's penalizing these guys a full almost second for sure with how much time they lose coming off the corners. Drew Webb still looking on the inside of Trinity Lee here, and you want to be on that inside even more now as another expired engine down there. It's one of the shell cars. I believe that's the 11 of Bradley Ream, whose race has officially come to a close here, and hopefully this is the last engine we see blow up, but at this point, it's got to become a concern for everyone else still running, including Drew Webb, who's just taken the lead. But if these guys are over-revving these engines, that'll just kind of like Talladega, where we can also see engine problems. We don't run that circuit here, but it could be a similar kind of factor here to these engines if they're over-revving and blowing up. We'll just have to see. Hopefully we don't have any more casualties in this one. There are only 14 cars still running on the track.
What a race of attrition we're seeing here. Drew Webb trying to hold on to lead. The tires are fading as we have one of the two truck assist cars looking... Oh!
Another mechanical problem here. It's Skylar Taylor tipping down to the apron there. This isn't a blown engine, but it's got to be something in that compartment. It slowed right down for the driver of the 35. Her day is done. Coming to 6 laps to go. Brian Webb brushing the wall a little bit there as Trinity Lee goes around him, but it's Drew Webb still in control of the field with 6 to go here in the Dairy Queen 400.
Anyways, Drew Webb's trying to hold on to this one, but it looks like it's going to be Trinity Lee to the inside of turn number 2. Down the back stretch into turn number 3, going to clear the race lead. Coming to 5 laps to go, Logan with the tire wear. What position would you want to be right now?
I'd want to be in one of these top 3, top 4 guys as they're looking to start to pull a gap now on the battle for 5th between Durrani and Rogel Dorn here. But Brian Webb looking to the inside of Drew Webb here as well. And they're losing a lot of time when they get put on the outside now, so any one of these passes might be the last pass for the win. Drew Webb, however, holding really strong on the outside there. He's got a really good car underneath him. He just got to get back around the 20 of Webb, and I don't think it's going to happen. There's just not enough grip on that outside lane. Brian Webb now looking to be in the catbird seat to get around Trinity Lee and trying to go for the win here. As running slowly, I believe that's still the 35 of Skylar Taylor. She's just running a lap down. She's going to be a problem now. 3 to go in the Dairy Queen 400, and this is getting really interesting as Brian Webb goes to the lead with 3 to go, 2.5 to go now.
Brian Webb in the lead, Trinity Lee in second, Rogel Dorn in third.
Brian Webb's got a big gap for this track. He's 0.3 of a second almost for the 20 to the 55, and Rogel Dorn is trying to put on an insane last charge here. He's trying to get to the inside of Lee for second, but he's just not quite there, and the door shuts as Anthony Rodriguez goes to the inside. He's going to try and get 2 birds with 1 stone as they come to the white flag. Brian Webb trying to hold the rest of the field off here at Minnesota.
Rodriguez still to the inside of Trinity Lee. This is going to be his one and only shot to make it. He's
out there.
Inside, down the back stretch.
Anthony Rodriguez digging really deep on the last half lap here at the Dairy Queen 400. He's around the 20.
He's cleared.
Anthony Rodriguez off of turn number 4 is going to steal it. Anthony Rodriguez wins the Dairy Queen 400. An amazing clutch time effort by the 56. As he closes it out, Skylar Taylor wasn't an issue at the end in the 35, and we got a really good, clean finish here. As behind them, they're all slowing way down.
What?
Not sure what that's about, but they'll figure it out. Anthony Rodriguez, what a run in the last lap here. To go from 4th to 1st in just 2 laps, powering down on the inside lane when it mattered the most. Anthony Rodriguez takes home his first win of the DRL Summer Series season and the first win of his career here in the DRL. Coming just ahead of Reggie Fogelman, who finishes second for his 4th top 5 in 5 races. Anthony Rodriguez is going to come out on top of this one, 2/10 ahead of Reggie Fogelman, who made an incredible charge there at the end, like you were saying, Andrew. After 60 laps, it comes down to just 0.02 of a second. which is pretty much what we expected here for the Dairy Queen 400. It's why we put it back in the schedule. It's a great event, and I look forward to coming back again. I'm sure we will, but Reggie Fogelman coming up agonizingly short in second. He's finished 3rd, 4th, 10th, 3rd, and 2nd this season, and I believe that his win might just be coming soon. We'll have to see if he can keep this form up. But Brian Webb goes from leading heading into turn number 3 to finishing 3rd, 3/10 off the pace of Rodriguez there. Rogel Dorn notches his first top 10 of the season in the 4th spot. And Trinity Lee rounds out the top 5 here in the 55. Then Drew Webb in the 6th spot, who was going to gain a bunch of ground here on the points, at least for Nicholas and Kochmer. But we'll get to them in a second. Fogelman, however, should pull out a much bigger gap now in this points lead as he looks to try and pull away with the championship. Ryan Durrani comes home in the 7th spot after contending late. Derek McLean, who led the first lap, comes home in the 8th spot. Last week's winner, Matthew Hubert, is 9th, 3, and then we got some gaps at the back of the field here. Hubert was 3 seconds off the pace. Nathan Ormond comes home 10th, his 2nd straight 10th place finish now, 6 seconds off the pace, and he barely beat Fitzwater to the line. Stapleton and Dixon were the only other guys in the lead lap there. 13 guys in the lead lap. 14 guys finished the race. Skylar Taylor had some kind of mechanical issue at the end, and she finished a lap down in 14th. But then Ream, with that engine problem, as we saw, De Oliveira also had an engine fail on him. And then the one caution that we had in this race, that ever-growing crash that involved Matthews, Gutierrez, Nicholas, Kochmer, most importantly there, Matt Tuck, Mikey Fox, Will Parrish, and Colin Bear. All of them retired from the same accident. So was an eventful race, was a race of attrition, as you said, but overall, still was a great one. We had 60 great laps here tonight at Minnesota, and it was a good one. So without further ado, we'll see you next time at Watkins Glen International for our only road course race of the season. Until then, I've been Logan on behalf of Andrew. Down to the points for the DRL Summer Series.